Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the City Council meeting of August 18th, 2026 to order. Tonight, Councilmember Rick Miller is going to offer our invocation. Will you please stand?
Please stand. Thank you, Mayor. Please pray with me in your faith if different than mine. Heavenly Father and Creator, we are grateful as members of this council for this opportunity to serve the citizens of Sugar Land. Bless us with wisdom, discernment, and knowledge to successfully navigate the challenges and opportunities before us. Grant us the willingness to listen to one another with respect and empathy, and the ability to work together to collaborate to make the right and best decisions for the city and for all residents. Lord, bless us Please bless all city staff members and especially those who represent us as first responders as they carry out their duties in serving us to keep us safe and cared for. Additionally, I ask for your watchful eye on the protection for our military members, especially those serving around the world. Bring them home safely to their families at the end of their tours of duty. Dear Lord, we deeply appreciate your grace and mercy that you provide to us daily. Please guide and direct all that we do. May our country, state, and this city and all residents thrive, and may we as elected council members always act with integrity, humility, and compassion. In your name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Council Member. Please remain standing for the pledges. And we have the Dulles High School Law Club President Callie Self and the group leader Kavita Self.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let's go.
Thank you. Want to just get a quick picture, Council? You want to squeeze in real quick? Thank you all for coming. Our next item is item 5, recognition. So we have 2 items for you tonight. The first is 5A, Keep Sugarland Beautiful, Youth Advisory Board, presented by Christian Eubanks, our environmental manager. So, come on up. So anyway, I'd like to ask the other members of the youth group to come up and join us. And so we have Aksharu, Gurupriya, Helen, Krisha, Rutvi, Myra, Lipi, and Dhruvi, as well as Rushika Bahal, Program Director for Keep Sugarland Beautiful. And so Rukshi and Christian, our environmental manager, will speak on the meaningful impact that these young leaders are making in our community through environmental stewardship and service.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm the environmental manager at the city. We are here with Keep Sugarland Beautiful and their Youth Advisory Board to recognize them for the various projects and good work that they do around the city. I also wanted to introduce Rushika Bahal. She's the new program director at Keep Sugarland Beautiful. We're very excited to have her on board and see what good work we can do together. I'll hand it to her.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christian, for initiating this proclamation to recognize our Youth Advisory Board. Many of you may not know that these girls have been really leading environmental stewardship in the city of Sugarland for over 5-6 years. They're mostly 11th graders, I would say, most of them. So it's a long while. They have worked through advocacy, through hands-on action, and the work is truly inspiring. And I can tell you, each one of us, most of the adults in this room, can take an example from all of them. I have the privilege to be a mentor to these girls, and as a mentor, I thank you all for this opportunity to share our work, our vision. And at Keep Sugarland Beautiful, we truly believe and would appreciate greater participation from the city residents. Today, taking care of the environment is no longer a protect the nature issue, it's really a human health issue. Just for example, when we are not disposing of our household stuff like batteries, food waste, clothes properly, it ends up in landfill. And that just sits with the potential to contaminate the water system, eventually ends up with drinking water contaminated. Now, of course, it can be cleaned up, but with the rising contaminants, it's hard. It comes at a significant cost. So each one of us has a little bit of responsibility. It's no longer about leaving a better world for the next generation, it's about our now. We do have a couple of events coming up by which you can participate. And the first one's on September the 18th. It's a World Cleanup Day, so it's after a community cleanup at the Elridge Park, followed by a movie night. Would love to see you there. October 24th is City of Sugar Land's Hazardous Waste Collection Day, and more information will be on the website. This is a great opportunity to put things like fire extinguishers, paints, batteries, e-waste properly and divert them from landfills. And the last one is October 31st, which is a tree planting event called the Trees Across Sugar Land. Great opportunity to be outdoors, get your hands into the soil, and plant something that we can benefit from now and leave it for the next generation. And I would also encourage you all to pick up a magnet as you step out tonight. The magnets, how to recycle things that you may not have thought can be diverted from the landfill. So it's just sitting outside on the table. If you haven't picked up one, please get one. And again, thank you so much, everybody here tonight, and look forward to seeing you at different events.
Thank you all very much. Yeah. Okay. Now I'd like to present all of you with a proclamation. Whereas Keep Sugar Land Beautiful, established in 1999, is an award-winning nonprofit organization dedicated to educating and engaging the community in environmental stewardship, promoting sustainability, and inspiring residents to take an active role in preserving the natural beauty of Sugar Land. And whereas since 2006, the Keep Sugar Land Beautiful Youth Advisory Board has empowered local high school students to become environmental leaders by providing opportunities to develop innovative projects, recruit volunteers, and serve their community through hands-on leadership, while fostering a lifelong commitment to civic engagement and environmental responsibility. And whereas the City of Sugar Land proudly recognizes the Youth Advisory Board as a whole for its continued dedication, creativity, and service, including the outstanding efforts of Ukshura and Gurupriya, whose crayon project partnered with the Crayon Initiative to recycle used crayons into new crayons for hospitalized children, Krisha, Ruthvi, and Helen, whose 5 years of leadership in organizing cleanups at Oyster Park, and Myra, whose efforts recycling tennis balls in her neighborhood to give them a second life, have inspired others through their unwavering commitments. Now, therefore, I, Carol McCutcheon, on behalf of the members of City Council and by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, do hereby recognize and honor Keep Sugar Land Beautiful and extend sincere appreciation to the Youth Advisory Board. Thank you all so much for what you do. Our next recognition is for the RoboSapiens Robotics team. So I'd like to call up the team, coach, and parent volunteers who are with us today. So come on up. So we have Rajiv Mehta, the coach. Everybody come on up, yeah. Kavisha Mehta, the team captain. We have Arav, Arush, Anderson, Kunisha, Uditya, Dushan, Alex, Shreyan, Ishan, Uditi, Umit, Prasad, and Umit and Prasad are parent volunteers. So the team recently achieved its most successful season to date, earning honors at the regional, state, and even the world levels. I'll now turn it over to Coach Mehta to share more about the team and their accomplishments.
Now we have a team captain, Kavish, is going to speak something.
Great. Good afternoon, Mayor Carol McCutcheon, esteemed members of the City Council, the Mayor's Office, and honored guests. Thank you for inviting us here today to celebrate the achievements of our robotics team. To give a quick background, the RoboSapiens team was established in 2018, and this is our 9th year participating in FIRST Robotics. FIRST is the world's largest STEM and robotics organization with over 800,000 youth participating and competing each year. The last few seasons have been truly remarkable for our team. Our team qualified for the first Robotics World Championship in 2022, 2023, and recently in 2026. Over the last 8 years, we have won multiple prestigious awards at the league, regional, state, and world's level. Each of the awards, Inspire, Think, and Control awards, were earned through hard work, dedication, and a passion for innovation. Our team not only excelled in competition, but also grew tremendously in problem-solving skills and teamwork. All the success in these wins were not just about the trophies. They were also about the journey and the lessons we learned along the way. Beyond our achievements on the field, our team made significant strides in community outreach in the Sugar Land and greater Houston community. We organized multiple workshops to teach robotics, presented and demonstrated at various local schools and events, inspiring younger students to explore the STEM fields. Our members volunteered their time to mentor and tutor, fostering a love for robotics and engineering in the next generation. With this spirit, we have reached to over 5,000 kids and parents over the last 9 years to spread STEM and robotics. We continuously seek local sponsors and have partnered with local businesses and organizations to host community events, showcasing the practical applications of robotics in everyday life. These efforts not only raised awareness, but also strengthened our community bonds and highlighted the importance of collaboration and innovation in the Sugar Land community. I also want to extend my deepest gratitude to the parents, mentors, and sponsors who supported us throughout the season. Lastly, I would like to thank the mayor's office and staff members for recognizing our achievements. Your support means a lot to the team and motivates us to aim even higher in the future. We are excited about the upcoming season and the new challenges it will bring. With the continued support of our community, I'm confident that we will achieve even greater heights. Thank you once again for the honor, and we look forward to making Sugar Land proud in the seasons to come.
Thank you very much. So now it's my pleasure to present this proclamation. Whereas RoboSapiens First Tech Challenge Team number 14503 has completed the most successful season in its 8-year history, distinguishing Sugar Land on the local, state, national, and world competitive stages. Whereas the team earned the first place Inspire Award and served as winning alliance captain at the Houston League Tournament, captured the first place Inspire Award at the Houston Regional Championship, secured third place Inspire Award at the Texas State Championship, and advanced as a division finalist alliance while winning the first place Think Award at the First Tech Challenge World Championship. Now, therefore, I, Carol McCutcheon, on behalf of the members of City Council and by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, do hereby honor RoboSapiens First Tech Challenge Team number 14305 in recognition of their outstanding achievements and service to the Sugar Land community. Congratulations, and I wish you much continued success. Thank you.
That looks right. No, okay. Just asking. Can I get everyone to crowd in just a little bit? There you go. You can also, kind of, there you go. There. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, oh boy. All those litho classes come in handy. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, next item is public comment. At this time, we'll open public comment for all non-public hearing related items. Each person who wishes to address City Council will have 3 minutes to speak. Linda, has anyone completed a speaker form for public comment?
No, they have not, Mayor.
Okay, I will now close public comment. Next item is 7, consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion unless any council member wishes to remove an item from the consent agenda. Okay, we have a motion by Watley, a second by Vonderhaar. Let's vote at this time. And the motion passes 7-0. Next item is 8, public hearing. We have one item under consideration this evening. Receive and hear all persons desiring to be heard on proposed fiscal year 2027 budget, consideration of and action on setting a date for deliberation and adoption on setting a date for the fiscal year 2027 budget. And we have Shalay Stedman, Director of Budget.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am excited to be here with you once again. Today I will be presenting on 2 items, and everything I will share tonight is something we've already covered in the filing or through the budget workshops, but I wanted to review it, but also share it with anyone that hasn't been able to attend those meetings. Tonight I will briefly highlight the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget and capital program before we move on to the public hearing and requested action. The budget is focused on fiscal responsibility while continuing to deliver the high quality of services our residents expect. So we have met state notice and filing requirements. Tonight's hearing provides the required opportunity for public comment before council takes action. The fiscal year 2027 proposed budget is much more than just a financial document. It's our financial plan that reflects disciplined stewardship while making strategic investments in the future. The proposed updated budget totals, so these are with those minor changes we talked about in the workshop for general fund, is approximately $519.8 million, including transfers. The general fund supports our day-to-day services with a budget of $146 million. Over the next 5 years, we are proposing more than $612 million in capital investments that preserve our infrastructure, strengthen public safety, improve mobility, and support economic vitality. The budget does start with listening through surveys, meetings, public participation. From there, staff and departments work together to identify needs and determine how best to serve our community. Once the budget is adopted, that work moves into action in October as our departments continue to deliver the programs and services our residents rely on. So speaking of those services, let's take a look at the we behind them, the employees who make the work happen every day.
Hello, thank you for calling the City of Sugar Land. My name is Megan. How may I assist you?
Hi, I was calling to report a traffic light just down the street from me that isn't working.
Great, okay. We will send somebody over and we can take care of that.
We?
Well, yes. You see, when you call, I put in a ticket with our Public Works Department, and they dispatch a signal technician. But there are a huge number of people behind making that happen besides just me. You see, that tech was able to get to the ticket because our IT department is keeping our network up and running. And then they get into their truck, which works because our fleet department keeps it running.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it doesn't stop there. They are able to make their way safely because our police department is keeping crime down and our traffic management center is keeping cars moving smoothly. And they all have the tools they need because of the folks in finance that help make sure funding is available to be sent over to purchasing to do the purchasing the right way.
Well, sure, yeah. Guess I haven't thought about it that way.
And these aren't just the services that our team enjoys. It is for everyone, even you. And it all has been paid for out of our general fund, which is mostly paid for with sales tax and property tax dollars. So sometimes other services are involved, like the people in animal services, municipal court, engineering, the fire department, the list goes on and on and on. So that's the we.
That's amazing. We are very impressed. How can I learn more?
I thought you'd never ask. I think we can help with that. You and you can learn more about our amazing services and how our general fund pays for them here. Also, we've already sent someone out to take a look at the traffic light. Anything else I can help you with?
Not really. Thank you so much. Unless, do you know where I could buy some more milk?
So that's just a reminder that the city doesn't provide services, people do, and we're all there to help maintain those high quality of services. It also mentioned that the proposed budget is available on our website, along with the new Citizens Budget book that's available. That just takes that 300-page book and shrinks it down to simple, digestible questions. So the cost of providing municipal services continues to rise as personnel, healthcare, insurance, utilities, inflation, and capital construction costs continue to outpace historical trends. Public safety, which is our highest priority, is a good example. This chart compares that public safety expenditures with the city's share of property tax revenue. As you can see, property tax revenue doesn't even cover our public safety expenditures, but that gap is widening each year. So as costs have continued to grow, staff has been working hard on identifying $7.5 million from the general fund budget and eliminated 30 positions in the last 2 budget cycles. These efforts demonstrate our commitment to live within our means. However, efficiencies alone can no longer keep pace with the increasing costs to provide the same level of services. Compared to our neighboring communities, Sugar Land continues to provide excellent value for the taxpayers. Residents receive outstanding public safety, parks, infrastructure, municipal services while maintaining one of the region's lowest property tax rates. And this is highlighting our proposed tax rate that we'll talk about in the second item. The capital improvement program is where today's financial decisions become tomorrow's community assets. Over the next 5 years, we are proposing $612 million with $128 in fiscal year 27. So this slide summarizes our complete financial plan. Together, our operating funds, capital investments, and transfers create a budget totaling that approximately $519.8 million. So quickly looking at next steps, we have 2 workshops remaining of the 4. And this next Thursday, in 2 days, we will be focusing on our enterprise funds and our special revenues. And then the remaining public hearings and formal actions are scheduled for September, with the budget adoption planned for September 15th. So overall, the budget balances financial stability, taxpayer value, strategic investment, and continued investment in the people and our infrastructure. So tonight, there are 2 actions. We are to receive public comment and then consider placing the fiscal year 27 budget on the September 15th agenda. So with that, I will turn the time back over to here for public hearing.
Okay, we'll now open the public hearing. And anyone who's addressing council during the public hearing will have up to 3 minutes to speak. Our first speaker is Sam Reagan. Sam, come on up.
Respected council members, mayor, and ladies and gentlemen, I may not be a very good speaker like the lady who just presented the budget, but I'll try my best. I've been a resident of Sugar Land from the year 2012, and I've been very proud, and I'm very happy with the services and the amount of care that the city takes for the residents, and it's really to be appreciated. We are one of the best communities in the entire USA, and it is telling with the efforts that you take. On the same token, I've got a couple of points that I want to raise. Since 2018 to 2026, our property appraisal has gone up by more than 50% in Sugar Land, and we are happy with that because our equity is higher. And tax rate has been from 2018 to 26 has been 0.31762 to 0.358827. And now we are taking it up to 0.38116. That's what I hear. And what I'm trying to say is, when your property values are increasing according to inflation, inflation is already taken care by the appraisal values going up. So why is there a need to again increase the tax rate? That means you're compounding it. You're able to understand my point? When the appraisal goes up, it is keeping higher than inflation. That's why you invest in property, because the value goes higher than inflation. So when you're pegging it for the property appraisal value, you're automatically compensated for the inflation. In fact, better than the inflation. Property value rises more than the inflation. So why is there a need to again revise the property rate, tax rate, citing inflation? This is one of the biggest points that I want to make. And you're trying to raise 4.78 million you're trying to raise out of an entire budget of 520 million. I'm sure, as that lady said, with the efficiencies that you can drive, 5 million out of 520 million is a very small amount. It can easily be done by efficiencies.
30 seconds.
Generating efficiencies. Every department, when there's a tough time in private sector, every department takes a 10% cut, 20% efficiency increase. They seek. And if you do that, you'll have no reason to increase the property tax. This is my
10
argument.
seconds.
Thank you, madam. I don't want to take anything more than this. I'll be under the time. Any questions, I'll take that.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Our next speaker is Samita Ghosh.
Hello. So I'm Samita Ghosh, resident of the Commonwealth, and I'm here tonight to speak about the proposed fiscal year 27 budget, and specifically how we evaluate the decisions we make about our taxpayer dollars and the things that make Sugar Land a desirable place to live. The proposed budget suggests roughly a 2-cent increase in the property tax rate, which would then be over a 6% increase. At the same time, the budget emphasizes infrastructure, public safety, parks and recreation, and maintaining the quality of life residents expect from Sugar Land. I think that raises an important question. When we ask residents to pay more to support these priorities, are we also making sure that other city decisions don't undermine them? I'm particularly concerned about the proposed commercial cell towers near Fort Bend ISD schools. I know that these aren't city budget expenditures, but I do want some input from the community. And the reason really is because our current budget is relying overwhelmingly on the property tax increases to fund the budget. And at the same time, we're asking citizens to pay more in taxes, but we're also taking actions that can potentially reduce the value of the houses of a significant number of our Sugar Land citizens. So I want there to be a certain level of caution, and I also want there to be accountability. I noticed that no one's looked at the environmental impact either, and what it will do to the quality of life in those neighborhoods where the cell towers go up. But the proposed budget also has an increase to economic development expenditures. We have no accountability for the EcoDevo dollars allotted last year, or even the last few months. At minimum, over $2 million was spent on FIFA activities. What was the ROI on that? From my looking at it, we're proposing like an EcoDevo increase of up to $15 million. Like, we have no idea what was spent for EcoDevo last year and what we got on that for the ROI. And I'm still not clear on whether the population of Sugar Land is increasing. Last year, it was decreasing, and if it's decreasing again this year, shouldn't we be considering cutbacks instead? I have a poll from my community, and 90% of the residents want the rate flat. There is no reason to raise the tax rate to the highest rate since 2022 of over 6%. If residents are being asked to contribute more through their property taxes, then protecting the value and desirability of these properties should be part of the city's long-term financial thinking. I'm asking council to apply the same principles of fiscal responsibility, infrastructure planning, public safety, environmental stewardship, and protection of our quality of life to these projects, such as cell phone towers. But if Sugar Land is going to ask residents for more money to maintain this community that we've built, we certainly should be taking decision-making in other aspects of our quality of life very carefully, and certainly keeping the tax rate flat when we have such a big ask from the citizens. And I believe my colleague Anand will be discussing more. And I know I'm running out of time. The clock wasn't starting. Thank you.
Thank you, Samita. Next speaker is Andy Pinto.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, council members as well. Thank you for the opportunity. Firstly, I'd like to thank the city staff as well as the public safety folks for all the excellent work that they do to keep us safe as well. Couple of comments on the budget. I've been attending a couple of the budget sessions. I think the first thing I'd like to probably note, probably you've seen this document. It's the monthly financial report for June 30th, which is very clear in that report. It says that our year-to-date property tax revenues up to June are 101% of our total annual budget for FY 2026. And that number is 44 million. That's on page 11 of that same document. So we budgeted for 43 million, and to date, our actuals are 44 million. So which means we're going to make more in property taxes. On that same page, on page 3 of that report, it says that our sales tax collections have also been 8.1% higher than the same month last year and 12.3% above the budget. And year-to-date projection suggests 5.8% growth over last year. So our FY26 budget projected on page 11 a negative of 9.9 million under expenditures, but so far year-to-date actuals shows a positive of 11.7 million. And I don't think we'll be able to bridge the 20 million in 3 months which are left. So based on that, it's interesting that the city wants to raise property taxes by 6.2%. Now, per the Bureau of Labor Standards, the US inflation rate is 3.4%, and the rate for Houston Woodlands Sugar Land is 0.8%. So I think it's concerning that the city of Sugar Land wants to increase our property taxes by 6.4%, or 6.2%, sorry, and this is all M&O. This is all coming from M&O. And if I looked at the budget, our M&O is 343 million, and the primary increase is 5 million from general fund, 6 million or 5 million from economic development. So it's interesting, we spent last year budget 14 million for economic development, and that's increasing to 17 million this year. So $31 million over the last 2 years is going towards economic development. I understand we're doing a lot of redevelopment and all that stuff, but 31 million over 2 years, that's a significant number, at least the citizens are being asked to pay. So keeping that in mind,
10 seconds.
1% was the increase in 24, 1% in 25, 26 was 1.5%, and now this is the highest rate.
Thank you, Andy. Would anyone else like to speak? Oh, no, only one per person. Thank you. Okay, so the public hearing is now closed. Council, do you have any comments or questions for Shalay? Okay, so we need a motion here, consideration of an action on setting a date for deliberation and adoption of the fiscal year 2027. And so And that recommendation is September 15th. Anybody like to make the motion? Okay. Yeah. What now?
We need to specifically state the date.
Okay. Okay, so we have I need a motion to place an item on the September 15, 2026 agenda for consideration of the fiscal year 2027 budget. And I have a motion by Vandahar. And do I have a second? Okay, got a second by Watling. So let's vote at this time. Councilmember Single, yes, you'd like to comment?
I wanted to speak because I wanted to, give my comment. There was no question to Shelley. I gave the details already, my position on this issue during the workshop, so I will not repeat that. I think in summary, my belief is that I'm all for supporting the staff and the whole department in line with the inflation, which is 3 to 4%. So any expense in the government in line with inflation is fine with me, but our expenses are going higher than inflation, which is not good with me, at least because I believe government should not be growing more than the inflation. So what I had recommended also in the workshop that we find ways to cut the expense by $2 million. There are certain line items which are growing 30-40%. They are various items we already discussed. But I would like expenditure to be reduced by at least $2 million so we can limit the increase in the property tax rate to 1 or 1.2 cent, which is a 1 cent reduction from what is proposed. So that is my view on this, and I wanted to, explain to the council my view on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so, Councilmember Betcher, yes.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. And to add to that, we have weekly updates for the budget and the tax rate. So I encourage the rest of the city to watch those, especially if you're interested in it. But to reiterate some of those points, I'm displeased with the fact that we have to raise taxes by the 6.2 to 7.3%, whether using the NNR rate or last year's tax rate. I share that sentiment with a lot of the residents. I understand we do have the inflationary constraints and pressures due to electricity and personnel and everything like that. I don't want to be in the same place next year that we are this year. I think that's the main comment here. And if we're at the max of the tax rate for this year, we will be constrained to that 3.5% next year unless we go to an election. So I think we need to spend some effort to look at the budget for this year to see where we can reduce. And we're definitely going to have to be looking at it with more scrutiny for next year because we can't go through the same expansion to the budget that we did this year. So with that, I think we have more work to do in the sessions and look forward to discussing it then.
Okay, thank you. Any further comment? Okay, so again, we're taking a vote to place this item on the September 15, 2026 agenda for consideration of the fiscal year 2027 budget. Let's vote at this time.
Linda, it needs to be a roll call vote.
I thought that was the next one.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Too many things tonight. I apologize.
Okay, and the motion passes 6-1. Next item is 9, tax record vote. Consideration of an action on setting the City of Sugar Land proposed 2026 tax rate, setting the public hearing, and directing staff to publish the notice of proposed 2026 tax rate. Presenting tonight again is Shelley Stedman, Director of Budget.
Thank you, Mayor. As stated, today is just to set the maximum proposed 2026 property tax rate and schedule that public hearing. So property tax provides a stable funding for essential services, long-term planning, and the quality of life our residents expect. A property owner's bill is based off of the taxable value and the rate adopted by the city. So as a reminder, there are 3 entities involved in this process. The appraisal district determines the values. The tax assessor collector handles billing and collection and does our truth and taxation calculation. And the city council sets the tax rate. The total tax rate has 2 parts. The M&O, which funds day-to-day city services and is used in the general fund, while the INS, or our debt service rate, is restricted to debt payments. There are also two different rates you will hear when talking about truth in taxation set by the state. The no new revenue rate, which would generate roughly the same revenue from existing property as last year, and the voter approval rate, and this is a threshold above which an election would be required. This shows the long-term pattern of disciplined tax rate management. The homestead exemption provides direct relief to our homeowners, and our goal is to balance affordability with the city's long-term financial needs. The proposed rate is 0.381116. It is above the no new revenue rate, but below the voter approval rate, and would still keep Sugar Land among the lowest taxed cities over 100,000 if they kept their current rate. So what you're looking at here, the gold is our proposed rate compared to everyone's 2025 rate. The proposed rate allows us to maintain the exceptional services priorities and the capital plan. Most of the change is in M&O, while debt service goes down just slightly, but not enough to see when we round. For the median homestead, the estimated city tax bill increases by $96 per year, or $7.98 per month. Actual impacts will vary, but half of the homesteads are expected an increase of less than $8 per month. 75% of the homes will see less than a $10 impact. After today's vote, we will update our calculator, which you can see right there in the Citizens Budget Book, so that residents can see the impact of their individual bill. Also, after today's record vote, we'll publish the required notice on August 26th, the public hearing on September 8th, and then council is scheduled to adopt the tax rate after the budget on September 15th. So today's action sets the maximum proposed rate. It is not the final adoption. It will be the rate used for the public hearing. The motion shown on the slide should be read as written, followed by a record vote, and then the second action is to set the September 8th public hearing. At this point, I will pause for questions.
Council, you have any questions or comments? Councilmember Watley?
You keep looking at me like I need to make a comment. But I do want to make a comment. You know, I wasn't going to speak, but I heard some of our speakers tonight, and we've been going through meetings, and we still have more to go, and I appreciate all of you for coming to those meetings and people for watching. To know that this process, of course, isn't easy, and we've had some pontification going on at these meetings where a lot of our council members have talked about more than just making a decision. It's the emotion in this and trying to take it out and balancing what we have to do versus what we want to do here. No one wants to raise taxes, right? So if you get to the point where you have to look at this and do the responsible thing for our city, someone said something tonight, and I appreciate what you said, Sumita. You said, if you have to do this, maintain the quality that you're putting in when you do this. And if we have to do this, I trust our staff and this council to take it seriously when we do this, whatever we do, to maintain the quality of life that we're expecting from this money, from this tax rate. We saw flat values come in, that value from property that we think is coming in every year did not come in this year. It was negative for a while, and then it was flat. So no, we didn't see any increase in value from property taxes. And that's a good and that's a bad thing. We're on the bad side of it. So we're looking at some things we didn't expect to see, and we don't like it any more than you do. We all pay taxes. But what Sumita said was, if you're going to do this, take care with the money you do get from it and maintain our quality of life. So thank you for saying that. That makes me think hard about what we're doing, no matter what we do. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Rob, okay. Councilmember Bescher?
Just a reminder, this is just the maximum setting of the rate. This is not the vote on the rate tonight for everyone involved.
Anyone else? Okay, I move to set a maximum proposed property tax rate at 0.381116 per $100 valuation, which is effectively a 6.18% increase in the tax rate, and set a public hearing on September 8th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at Sugarland City Hall, 2700 Town Center Boulevard North. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Jacobson. Linda, can you conduct the required roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Jacobson. Aye. Councilmember Betcher.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Watley. Aye. Councilmember Single.
No.
Councilmember Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Bondahar.
Aye.
Mayor McCutcheon.
Aye.
It passes 6-1.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, so next is item 10, City Council and City Manager reports. Councilmember Single.
Thank you, Mayor. So last week I attended a couple of functions. The main one was an academic fest for students, which was organized by an organization called BANA. And also I attended a seminar on the flood control by organization IAPAC. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Miller.
Went to the City of Neville presentation at the Chamber last week. Learned a lot about the City of Neville. It was great.
Thank you. Councilmember Vondahar.
Thank you, Mayor. I also attended that meeting. It was very informative, and I also participated in the TML Region 13. I guess it was our summer meeting. Not sure what they called it, but anyways, it was also equally informative.
Thank you. Councilmember Jacobson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have been involved with the ARC of Fort Bend County for about 15 years. It's an organization that provides services and advocacy for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and currently serve as their chairman. And we had a fabulous event happen. When someone retires from the board of the George Foundation allows them to choose $250,000 to give to a charity, and they chose the Ark of Fort Bend, and we rededicated one of our properties in the name of Dr. James Condrey, and that was a very important thing.
Congratulations. Councilmember Watley.
Thank you, Mayor. Along with many of you, I went to the TML summer, the regional summer meeting, is the name of it, and the future of Needville, and I got to go to the Covington Woods HOA annual meeting, and as always, I love going to those meetings and learning more every single time. That's my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Betcher.
Thank you, Mayor. Last 2 weeks we had the budget sessions, had a weekly update with you, the mayor, also had Meet the Teacher at Dickinson Elementary School, and also found myself in Guyana, South America this week. So welcome from South America. That's all.
Thank you, and safe travels back home later. So anyway, I had some exciting news last week. The Houston Business Journal named me as a Who to Know in Fort Bend honoree, and also Women Who Mean Business honoree. And then also Melisha Patel, CEO of Memorial Hermann, reached out to me, and she said there's a little boy, Jack, who's 8 years old and is in, has a critical illness, and Make-A-Wish Foundation is involved, and they want him to get his wish that he wants. And she said, would you be willing to help? And I said, absolutely, what is it? And, a lot of these kids, in that situation, they'll want to meet like a famous football player and get his jersey, or go to a concert of their favorite performer. But I said, well, what's his wish that he wants? His wish was to be a valet parking attendant. And that was really amazing. So anyway, I drove my car up there. I handed him my car key, and he handed me this valet parking pass. And that's what he wanted for his wish. Anyway, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to encourage the public to participate in our public art plan survey. It closes on August 20th, and if you go to Sugarland Speaks, our website, where we have a lot of surveys where we're always trying to gauge what our residents want, but please do that before it closes on August 20th. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. So, having no further business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, and we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you all for coming.